Wisconsin became part of the Union on May 29, 1848. America's Dairyland, home of Culver's, Leinenkugel, Summerfest, and the Green Bay Packers. Birthplace of Gene Wilder, Liberace, Frank Lloyd Wright, Georgia O'Keeffe, Chris Farley, Ed Gein, Jeffrey Dahmer. UFO sightings happen on a daily basis. It has more haunted locations than it does bars. The devil himself created a playground tucked into its forests. For these reasons, and many others, America's Dairyland is also America's Scaryland.
Hello and welcome to a very special holiday Christmas Xmas episode of America's Scaryland.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Christmas to you all. Hey, you guys. Thanks again for everything that you've been doing, such as listening to us and supporting us.
It's pretty much all you've been doing.
We didn't plan this out correctly, but we ended up knowing we were going to have to release an episode on Christmas. So here's your special Christmas morning surprise.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you all.
I feel like we've said that.
And in our research, we couldn't find a very specific Wisconsin Christmas thing.
We don't
So
celebrate Christmas scarily.
We're going to venture a little bit out of our comfort zone. We're going to do everyone's favorite Christmas legend. Krampus.
Yeah.
Krampus.
Well, there'll probably be a couple.
Yeah.
I found some stuff.
Some bleed over, but it's going to be a Krampus Christmas.
But we're Krampusing,
whatever. So, to kick things off, we're going to venture down our normal trail of what would booze do. But it's going to be switched up just a smidge right now. And we're going to call it, what's Jake's favorite holiday memory?
Uh-oh.
And then, selfishly, I'm going to take the mic back and do a what would booze do, but convert it into a what is booze's favorite Christmas memory? Because 'tis the season.
'Tis jingle bells and smelly Batmans. My favorite Christmas memory, eh? Let's think back. Well, my favorite Christmas, okay. The one that sticks out to me the most is put the kids to bed for this one.
Oh boy.
It's
about to get rated MA.
It's about to get rated Fantasy Destroyed. It was the year I found out the deep, dark adult secret.
That Krampus is real?
The opposite of that.
That Krampus is not real?
No, that Santa's not real. What? Yeah,
He's not?
No, spoilers.
Shit.
So one day, it was probably mid-December, I was looking for my dad, and he was in our basement. And I go, hey, Dad, I'm coming down. And he goes, no, wait. And I, being like 10, was like, haha, nah, I'm going to go. So I went downstairs, and in the basement was a bicycle, a snowboard, and there was, I want to say, a football helmet, like a replica football helmet. And they were all being wrapped in different wrapping paper than normal. And then one of them said, from Santa. And I went, hey, Dad, what you got there? And Dad went, we have to have a talk. And proceeded to tell me the great lie that all parents tell their children. And the next year, which was the best part, was my mom went, well, now that you know, we ain't going to hide secrets. You're coming to the mall. We're buying whatever you want. That's what you're getting for Christmas. So that's one of the best, like the most standout memories I have for Christmas.
The most fond Christmas memory?
Yeah.
Nice. I like it. It's got deception and then just straight up mind blown.
It's like a Tom Clancy novel.
The way you told it was very much like a Tom Clancy novel. I enjoyed that.
There was intrigue.
There was a CIA agent. There was some Russians. It was a straight up Tom Clancy novel.
There was. I have a story about Russia that involves my dad.
And Christmas?
No.
I mean, fuck it. Let's go on a tangent.
Okay, so my dad likes to tell this story from when he was in the Navy. He was out on a ship, and I don't know where exactly, but he said that
it's confidential.
That's private information.
By ship, he means submarine.
No. He was offered a submarine thing, but he didn't want to be in a tube.
He wasn't hungry at the time.
Nope. Oh goodness.
He got a hoagie instead.
But so he wakes up for like his like I don't know
Duty.
maybe.
It's called duty.
His poops, and
he woke up because of the bowel
no,
movements.
it was duty. It was
Okay.
that was an immature joke that I made there.
That's
Duty.
fine. That's cool.
But guy hands him a gun, and he's like, "Do your thing." By the way, don't give this gun to anybody unless it's your.
Was he on the ship or was
Yeah,
he stationed
he was on
the
the
ship?
he was on the ship. They were in the ocean. They were sailing, and he gets handed a gun, and they go, "Don't give this to anybody except your commanding
He's
officer."
probably on watch then.
So yeah, I mean, whatever.
Do you remember what? Because I know he's told me. Do you remember what he did in the Navy? What his job was?
As far as I know, he was just like just a regular.
It was bosun's mate then.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it was from what you just said. I'm pretty sure it was a bosun's mate. They're just kind of the like. I'm not gonna call them janitors, but they were kind of like they're the guys that have to paint the ship. They're the guys that usually get stuck with watch. They're usually like they're the handymen of
Because this was early on. I know like later on he had like some specialer stuff that he did. Specialer's not a word, but this was he was like told like don't if anybody asks for this, you don't put it down, you don't give it to anybody, nothing. And so they're going about their thing. Next thing they know, there's a couple ships in front of them telling them to stop, and finds out they're about 20 miles off the coast of Russia. They just wanted to see how close they could get, apparently, which is how the U.S. government likes to operate. Didn't tell, nobody knew except for the people in charge. He's like, so yeah, there were some Russian ships that were like, hey, what y'all doing over
Niet!
Duh. So that's my dad's Russia story that he likes to tell.
Do you remember do you know like what year frame this was?
This would have been mid to late 80s. It was before I was born because he was out of the Navy, I think, by the time I was born. So, I mean, it was during a more hostile time with the Russians for sure.
Merry Christmas.
Wasn't the best way, but yeah.
Nice.
So my dad almost started a war and ended my illusions of Christmas. I love you, Dad.
Hey, Joel.
Oh no, his name's out there now. The Russians are coming for him.
They're a lot busier with other shit right now.
Yeah, rigging elections.
So, let's see. My fondest Christmas memory.
That's how this started. I completely forgot.
Yeah. This is a Christmas episode,
Holy shit,
so there you go.
Okay.
I have a lot of them, but of course, being the nerd that I am, the one that sticks out in my mind the most right now is I didn't have game consoles growing up as a kid. I got a Game Boy like early, I don't know, 92-ish as a kid. That was really the only game I had. I had to go over to my grandma's, go down to my uncle's room to play Nintendo, to play the original Nintendo.
Right.
And then my buddy down the road had a Super Nintendo, so like I was always, a bridesmaid, never a bride sort of situation with video games. And I remember going to my grandma's, so this would have been like 95, 96, possibly even 97 for the console I'm about to tell you. You already know what it is. But,
yeah.
And my uncle, Paul, who's 7 years older than me, so he would have been in high school at the time. He came back home and he had a Nintendo 64 in his car. And I was like, sweet, Uncle Paul, you got a Nintendo 64. He's like, yeah, but you can't play it. I'm like, why? He's like, well, I can't. I don't remember like verbatim what was said, but it was just more like he's just went straight grump mode, and he was just like, yeah, you can't play it. I was like,
fuck you, happy child.
He's like, go play the Nintendo or watch Tremors. Two of the things I always did at my grandma's house was watch a VHS that had recorded Tremors off of HBO.
Nice.
Or
free weekend.
Play Super Mario 3 on the OG Nintendo.
I mean, it's a good choice.
That was it. Never spent any time with my grandma. Just always just video games and Tremors.
Grandmas aren't important.
So, fast forward to Christmas Day that year, and I opened up the box, and it was the 64. And then my mom was like, yeah, so this Paul had. I was like, oh, okay, mystery solved.
He wouldn't let you play because it was your Christmas present?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
But I had been telling my parents, like, I want a Nintendo, I want a Nintendo, I want a Nintendo. For whatever reason, they decided to let me finally get in it, or my sister and I to get it. Because,
Siblings.
Mom, Dad, Sam, if you're listening, y'all said it was for both of us, but we knew it was for me. I knew it was for me.
We knew what the deal was.
And I had told them if I got a Nintendo 64, I would run around outside in my boxers. Got me a Nintendo 64. It was a snowy Christmas.
That's an odd... Because what were you at that? Like 9?
Let's see, 95, I would have been 8.
8? Okay.
8, 9. Somewhere.
So-
Third grade, fourth grade.
They're
If it was 97, it was 10. But
like, yes, young child, you will run outside naked.
yeah, so then I did said deed, and I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have been my mom, but either my dad or my sister locked me out of the house for a couple minutes.
Smart.
So that was fun.
You had that coming.
I sure did. But they had, I think it came with Super Mario 64.
Right.
Or Mario 64. And then it also came with Tetris Sphere.
Don't know that.
It was Tetris, but you played Tetris on like a sphere.
Huh.
It had like classic Tetris on it. It was a janky game, but what have you. That, yeah, it's one of my favorite Christmas memories.
I actually would like to change mine now that I think about it. So this is now a gaming podcast. Because speaking of Nintendo 64,
That's Christmas time. It's Christmas time.
So speaking of the Nintendo 64, this in like 1999, I want to say it was, WWF No Mercy came out for the 64, which is like the best wrestling game that's ever been made. And Alex and I are huge wrestling fans.
Yeah.
And
nerd.
Fucking A. For wrestling, really? But he knew he got it. And so
Alex knew he got the game?
He knew he got it from his mom. And so we spent one day, and I'm letting this out, and I hope Sue never listens to this. That's Alex's mom. I kind of hope Alex does. But we searched for it, and we found it. And we played it, because back in that day, like, games didn't come saran wrapped. So it was just a box. So we just opened it up and we got it. We're like, fuck yeah, we're playing this game. And I remember distinctly, this was like probably 2 weeks before Christmas. It's snowy outside. He had a big window with snow. We're sitting there just playing No Mercy. And we got done and he put it back. Well, I found out later, he's like, I really just wanted to play it more. So he switched it with, was it Turok or some other game that was like both cartridges were black. So he just Sharpied out the label and switched it. So that he could keep playing it.
Oh my god.
And I can't remember if... Okay, now I'm thinking... He's probably going to correct me if he ever hears this, but I think... I don't know if he switched it so that he could play it before Christmas or if that's when he got grounded. But he switched the cartridges.
That's why he got grounded too?
No, I don't think we ever got caught. I think I'm out in this for the first time. But I just remember he had 2 games that were both...
Sue listens to this, Alex is going to be grounded now.
No, statute of limitations is over. Can't ground a kid for that. But I just remember...
No tours for you, Alex.
I remember his No Mercy copy that was Sharpied out black because he just switched it so he could keep playing the wrestling game. But I just remember that Christmas being like, fuck yeah, this game is awesome. And I had a PS1, so I couldn't play it. I was stuck with the shitty wrestling games at the time.
Oh, so happy times down Christmas memory lane.
Oh, I love Christmas.
But you're not here to listen to us panter and bander and just trail on about our Christmases.
Oh, we could talk for days.
I mean, probably another 10 minutes. But y'all are here for Krampus.
Krampus. What is a Krampus?
What is a Krampus? A Krampus is typically once a month when a lady gets her...
That's not your... No.
No?
No.
Oh. Then I have 2 whole pages of notes that are incorrect. And if there's any high school biology students out there who would like 2 pages worth of notes, you are welcome to them because they are useless to me now.
Well, once again, I'm here for the rescue. No, you did the right research though, right?
Well, says you.
Okay. So, Krampus.
Krampus. All right.
Spelled with a K.
Krampus. Many of you probably are not strangers to the idea of Krampus. Many of you know who Krampus is. So, we both did a little research on Krampus.
We've seen that Family Guy. Was it Family Guy?
I don't know.
No, American Dad. No.
I don't know. There's movies out for it. It's
Seth MacFarlane did a thing with Krampus. I want to say it was Family Guy. No, it was American Dad.
Maybe it was the Flintstones. Who knows?
It wasn't the Cleveland show.
Anyway, Krampus is a half goat, half demon figure who is basically Santa Claus's, for all intents and purposes, evil. We can call him a sidekick, counterpart.
Yeah.
Or the term that I learned in this research, which is, it's odd to have never realized this exists for Santa. He's one of Santa's companions.
Yes.
Now,
Sanyan. Oh, okay.
well, you know,
Santa.
the funny thing I thought about, and most people think about this, all it is one little letter switch, and you go from Santa to Satan real quick.
Oh. Never thought about that, to be honest.
Have you never looked at the spelling of Santa and the spelling of Satan and realized that it's just a word jumble?
I'm sorry that I've never compared our Lord and Savior Santa to, I was going to call him Santa Christ, and that is not it.
You would have been much closer to our conversation topic right now.
No, that's what he is forever now. We pray to Santa Christ.
Satan Claus.
Satan Claus. Oh.
That's a clause in a
Legal contract.
legal contract, and it's also the anti-Santa Satan Claus.
Wasn't Goldberg in that movie?
Probably.
Somebody out there will
Probably.
get that. Somebody out there will get that.
Yeah, because Santa is Santa, and Satan is Satan.
Oh, no. They got us.
Krampus, a lot of the research showed that his origins there's not a definitive, like a concise, this is where Krampus is directly from.
Right.
It's mostly just Central European origins.
Yeah. Well, from what I read, it dates back from Germany-ish. It's Krampus comes from the German word Krampen, which means claw.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, all sorts of noises. Yeah, so I actually have side notes on Krampus himself. It is, the German word Krampen, which means claw. I have that exact note down. Yes. So Krampus is said to actually come on the eve of December 5th, which I found weird, but it's customary to actually, Santa's got his milk and cookies. So what would do you know? Do you want to venture a guess if you don't know what would be customary to leave out for anti-Santa?
well, he's German. He's not a nice guy. Blood sausage?
No.
Fuck.
No. Do you want to give a much more concise?
I mean, is it like the opposite of milk and cookies? So like,
I would say yes. I wouldn't say it's the most opposite, but it is opposite.
like water and carrots?
No.
Okay, I'm at a loss then.
No. It is customary to offer Krampus schnapps. Really? Yes.
Well,
As
if
far
he's
as-
drunk, he can't snatch you out of bed, can he?
The notes I looked up, that's...
Is that really?
That's-
That's the opposite of milk and cookies. Is
I didn't
alcohol?
say it's the I didn't say it's the direct opposite, but it's pretty opposite.
Could you leave milk and cookies flavored schnapps? Is that a
Probably.
thing?
Probably.
That
Yeah.
has to be a thing.
The other interesting note I wrote down is his footsteps are really awkward. He has one barefoot human foot and one hooven goat foot.
Okay, that part I didn't see.
So his footstep sounds are human footstep, clop. Human footstep, clop. And I tried my damnedest in my head to like conjure up that sound, and I still cannot figure out how that would sound.
Creepy as fuck, if you ask me.
The closest I think right now I could come to with that would be almost probably very similar to like a pirate and a peg leg. just I mean, not 100%.
It got less creepy in that description because to me,
yeah.
the thought of like a foot and then a clop and then a foot and you're like, oh, that's just unsettling. But then when you're like, oh, it's just Captain Hook.
Well, let's creep it back up because he also carries chains and bells.
Yeah,
So
that
there
I
you
knew.
go.
He's-
Soft footstep, clop,
Chains,
chains,
bells.
bells. Soft footstep, clop, chains, bells.
Is that Santa? Probably not.
No, that's Satan.
Fucking Krampus. So what's the big deal with Krampus? Why is he there? What's he existing for?
So Krampus is a butthole. Where Santa does dole out the punishment of coal and things.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, Krampus just ramps shit up real quick.
Yeah.
And eats children or steals them to eat them?
There's some edible children in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of, and a lot of it comes from, I think, the fact that it's not. Yes, it is like the German word, but you have so many countries, so many cultures with the idea of Krampus,
right?
That it's it's the same thing as Santa when you think of like Santa's slightly different in Russia, Santa's slightly different in Germany, Santa's slightly different in so there's all those different kind of same guy, different version,
right?
But I do remember reading that he kidnaps, or not. No, I don't think he kidnaps, but he does eat.
Well,
children.
and like that's something too that, just for a little history tangent here, that if you go back to a lot of, especially like pre-Christian history, whatever country you go back to or nation, their big bads always ate children.
Yeah, well,
and
it was
I
a
feel
way
like
to
that
keep,
was kind of like the main like.
That's how you keep children in line.
Well,
you
and like
threaten,
that's the human, like, if you really think about it, like, what's the big human fear? Like, what's the big human
being
taboo?
eaten by a half goat, half fucking human,
Yeah.
or half demon, I guess.
Yeah, so I think like the idea that like, well, this guy brings you presents and this guy eats you, like, it's a bit of an extreme.
Eat your vegetables,
or Krampus will eat you.
Yeah.
So, Krampus is definitely the most famous.
He is the most famous of
Christmas nasty.
Yes. Now, I told you earlier tonight that I didn't get a whole lot of notes other than the main points that are pretty. You don't have to dig very far to get a lot of these notes as far as Krampus goes.
Yes.
And did like kind of the scratching of the surface on him because I got stuck down a wormhole.
Oh yeah, you mentioned
when I
that.
crossed this Companions of Saint Nick.
Right.
And I should have probably prefaced this whole podcast with Krampus and Friends. I mean, it's Krampus and Friends. We touched,
best new TV show on Disney Plus, Krampus and Friends.
Oh, Krampus and Friends. Yeah. Hell yeah. So I actually found myself doing more research on his companions than I did on himself as Krampus, our Lord and Savior Krampus.
Well, I feel like Krampus is like, he's so well known that
He is,
that's
and it's
sort of, if you go, we're doing a scary Christmas, Krampus is the first thing.
Well, and it's the funny thing is that it's getting bigger and bigger every year. There are cities and places that do like Krampus festivals.
Yep.
And it's a big thing that's kind of.
I'm showing Nick a picture of a Krampus festival.
Yeah,
it's dressed up as Krampus.
Yep, I mean, truthfully, that picture alone just looks like a scene out of The Purge. I'll be completely honest with you. I think Krampus festival
most impractical masks ever.
Yeah. But if you would allow me, because I know you've got some other Christmas nasties you want to bring up, and I want to get some of these companions here. Should we live Rochambeau to see who goes first?
I don't know what that is, so yeah.
I've always done just rock, paper, scissors for it.
Okay.
2 out of 3, winner goes.
Yes, let's make this rock, paper, scissors game on a podcast take as long as possible.
Or winner just starts and then we'll volley back and forth. That's a much better idea.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 out of 3, rock, paper, scissors.
Do you go on shoot, rock, paper, scissors, shoot, or rock, paper, scissors?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay, good.
The traditional 3 rock, paper, scissors.
Christmas rock, paper,
no
scissors.
Volcanoes. No
nuke, cockroach.
We're doing a glass of eggnog. We're doing a letter to Santa, and we're doing a candy cane.
We should have gotten eggnog for this.
I would have shot you down. I know when we were putting this together, I have never liked eggnog. Nope. Not even with alcohol in it.
See, we could have gotten drunk and done this. Christmas Yuletide drunkenness.
We tried doing a podcast drunk. No one's going to hear it.
Somebody might hear it someday.
Yeah, we'll see. All right.
Okay.
2 out of 3. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Traditional style. All right. Hone in. Here we go.
I'm stretching. Hold
All
on.
right.
I don't pull a finger again.
All right.
Ready?
Yep. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I win.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Ooh.
That's paper.
Both.
Holding it vertically, but that's paper.
I went paper. Nick went handshake. Not part of the rules.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Ha-ha! 2 out of 3.
Grand champion.
All right. You start us off with your Christmas nasty.
Okay. So this one actually probably isn't too nasty to start with, but it's got a Icelandic name. I'm going to preface this that is about 6,000 letters long that I can't pronounce. But it's the Yule Cat, which is a monster from Icelandic folklore. It's a big old snowy black cat that comes at Christmas time to eat people who have not received any new clothes to wear before Christmas Eve, which is a very strange reason to be punished. He comes after people who haven't finished their all their work on time and to receive new clothes. So it's basically a big cat that comes after lazy people.
Really?
Yeah. So if you were lazy before the holidays and didn't get all your work done, and it was used to encourage children to get their chores done. If you didn't do that, if you were a lazy fuck, the Yule Cat will come after you and he will eat you.
It's so interesting to me that so many things of cultural tradition this is the first time I've kind of heard something geared towards an adult.
Yeah.
But so many things are just do this or else. With a lot of holiday traditional stuff and further more than traditional like holiday stuff, it's just humorous to me that so many things are do this or you're getting fucked one way or another.
Well, and it's funny. So basically the idea was that if you did all your chores and stuff, part of which was making your own clothes back then. And that's how he would know is you didn't have any new clothes because you were too lazy to make your own. But it also, apparently there's a poem, which I can't find, but at the last line of it is an encouragement for children of Iceland to help the needy because they need help making their new clothes.
So is that saying the children would make their new clothes and then their old clothes would go to the needy?
I think it was more like go help the needy people make their own new clothes so they don't get eaten by the Yule Cat.
But these lazy kids aren't even getting their own damn clothes made.
Yeah, well then everyone's going to.
So everyone's going to get just screwed over by the Yule Cat.
So it also apparently is the reason why most Icelanders work more overtime than anywhere else in Europe.
Because of the damn Yule Cat.
Big fucking cat comes
coming at you. Wow, that's very interesting. Huh.
That's a word for it. Fucking Iceland's weird though.
Okay. So to preface my side of things, these companions of Saint Nick are a group of figures who accompany Santa on his journey. Most threaten to thrash or abduct bad children while, giving good things to good children.
Yeah.
In the bad avenue, yes, way different than Santa. But in the good avenue, just another Santa.
I like how that extreme of were you good? Here's a toy. Were you bad? Guess who's dying?
Right. So the first one I came across, in the German name, I didn't even bother writing it down. Similar to the reason you didn't bother writing down the Yule Cat's name.
Yeah.
Because I didn't take any of those languages. So I'm going to just call him what they wrote in English, which is Farmhand Rupert. Or Servant Rupert. Rupert asks children if they know their prayers. If yes, they are rewarded with apples, nuts, or gingerbread.
Ooh.
If no, they are beaten with his bag of ashes.
Jesus.
So you have Farmhand Rupert just
fucking beating kids.
Walking around. Hey, you know your prayers? Yes, sir. Cool. Here's an apple. No, sir. Don't know my prayers. Wham! Bag of ashes. Just upside your head.
Ass beating time.
I don't know. I mean, he's
Here to hand out apples or beat some ass, and I'm all out of apples.
He's a companion of Saint Nick.
Fucking Nick needs some new friends.
And the first one that caught my attention was Farmhand Rupert.
That's a good one.
It was pretty good.
Okay. My next one is a bit on the scary side.
Perfect, because our podcast is about scariness.
Yeah, most of them. First of all, how would you pronounce LWYD?
Lewid, maybe?
Mary Lewid.
Lewid.
So
Depending on what that Y is doing.
it's a French.
Sometimes Y.
It's
Sometimes Y. So it could be an E.
So it's a Welsh word, but it's so let me just read this. It's a creature that will visit your home while carrying a horse skull that has been decked out during the holidays with ribbon, bells, and a sheet to give the whole affair a ghostly appearance. They will engage the owner of the house in a battle of verses and insults. If the troupe has the cleverest rhymes, they are allowed in for drinks and food, while this merry character will scare away anything unwanted for a year. Like many creatures, the origins of this creature is lost in history, but it's apparently just a creature that shows up. It's in a sheet with a horse skull, and it basically challenges you to a rap battle. And if you win, it protects your house and gets to come in and drink.
So it's just it's a creature that is that description.
Yep.
I mean, I'm looking at the picture right now, and it looks just thrown together as all get out.
Fuck yeah.
It's literally just a
dude in a
shitty
sheet holding a horse skull.
So it's not even the horse skull's not even his head. He's just like
Just holding it.
just holding it.
But apparently, it's a weird creature.
So it's the rap battle in horse.
Yeah, because it'll challenge you to
A poem off.
to verses and insults. So that sounds like a rap battle to me.
I mean, thus far, that would be my favorite Christmas nasty to get visited by. Like, that would be like, oh, you want to go? You want to go? Your mama sat down, and it snowed because of her dandruff. And he'd be like, boo, I'm not protecting your ass this year. That was weak.
All the bad things are coming after you.
And I'd retort with, Mom spaghetti. And he'd be like, shit.
Just completely.
Shit, he got me.
Completely out of context.
Damn it. Motherfucker knows Eminem lyrics. I'm screwed. So, okay. Mary Louise. It was LWYD. So anyone out there who has listened to the last several episodes knows that Jake and I's Achilles heel is pronunciation.
And reading.
Because we pronounced an entire episode wrong.
Did we?
Yeah.
What?
Sanatorium Hill. It's not sanitarium. It's sanatorium.
Wasn't it? Yes.
There's an O, not an A.
Isn't it like like a sanitarium? Or is it always been sanatorium?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a conversation we need to have later because this is wrecking my world.
Yeah, I had to look it up, and it was it blew my mind too. And
Crap, it's the Mandela effect.
And that's
Berenstein or Berenstein.
That's why I posted in the Facebook. I was like, please excuse Jake and I for mispronouncing sanatorium all episode.
I always assumed the word was
I
sanitarium.
always thought it was sanitarium as well. But, it wasn't anyway, I digress because this isn't a recap. We'll visit this on our wrap-up episode at the end of the season.
This is really a Berenstein thing. I'm pretty sure we've...
Not really, because it's a difference between an A and an O.
No, I'm pretty sure we got ripped into an alternate universe. It was sanitarium my entire life until just
And that's
now.
what a lot of people, when we were talking about it, that's how they said it too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But
It's Mandela effect.
Anyway, fun little behind the scenes action for you there. So, moving forward, when Jake and I mispronounce something,
just live with it.
Fuck you. Just go with it.
You're
not the one recording a podcast.
We're
right
not
now.
smart.
We are. We are not smart. We are the ones recording the podcast. So, y'all want to do a podcast on how people mispronounce things? Be my guest. But You're listening to us, and you're listening to us, so deal with our mispronunciation.
Radio. Man, we should have gotten drunk before this episode. At least we'd have an excuse.
Oh, God.
God, I love Christmas.
So, my next one, I just peeped on your list, and he is on there. But
Uh-oh.
my next companion of Saint Nick is the Belschnickel. Chris Kinkel Belschnickel is what the German reading I have on here is.
You offended somebody just now.
Whatever. Belschnickel is portrayed wearing a mask with a long tongue, and he fills shoes and socks of the good children with treats and sweets. And the bad children get coal or switches. I'd be bad if I knew I was getting a Nintendo Switch in my shoe. Well, I mean,
I'd be good for a Nintendo Switch in my shoe.
yeah, but Belschnickel's going to give you a Switch if you're bad.
He's talking.
I don't eat sugar, so sweets and treats wouldn't.
He's talking about like the beating kind of Switch.
No, he's not. He's talking about Nintendo Switch.
Oh.
I got these notes from Wikipedia, and I know that
Well,
they are
then you
100.
know it's factual.
Any high school or college student out there will write a paper based on something they read on Wikipedia, and it's on the internet, so you know it's true. Belschnickel is out there giving out Switches to the bad children in their shoe.
Why do the bad kids get the cool Nintendo?
Because it's good to be bad.
Bad bone.
Mm-hmm. I have a couple other notes on the Belschnickel. In, on, around, near, on top of, underneath the southern shore of Nova Scotia, there is a tradition known as Belschnickeling. I know, it sounds dirty.
It does.
It's not. It sounds fun as all shit.
Okay.
So Belschnickeling is the tradition of dressing up with layers of clothing and scarves. And you put scarves over your face to hide your identity.
Okay.
Then you go around to your neighbors' houses. So it's kind of like a Christmas trick-or-treating style.
Okay.
But adults do it. So you dress up, you hide your identity. You don't dress up, you just layers of clothes and scarves. And you go around to your neighbors' houses, and you are offered...
Beat their children.
Yes, because that's where every one of these traditions go. You say, hey, were your kids good? Yeah, they were. I'm going to beat them. Hey, were your kids bad? Yes, they were. I'm going to beat them. That's
Merry Christmas.
Merry Belschnickel Day. No, you are actually... you are given food and drink, which is usually rum. The drink is usually rum or eggnog. And you're given food and drink until the homeowner guesses your identity, and it's on to the next house.
Jeez.
That's it. That's Belschnickeling. Layers of clothing, hide your identity with a scarf, eat someone's food and drink their fucking rum eggnog, and
So you're saying I would have the best time because of
that's what I'm saying. It's like it's December trick or treating for adults.
Plus, like, I'm so antisocial, nobody's gonna know who the fuck I
Right,
am.
right.
I'll get drunk as shit at the first house.
I just when I saw that I was like, I'm putting that note in there because that's pretty good.
That's pretty.
That's
fun.
pretty sweet.
We should do that.
When I was writing that note, I was like, man, how could Jake and I just, you know what we could do? It's highly doubtful that next year we'll have an episode that falls on Christmas. But
Yeah, this show will probably be over by then.
it will not. I'm tired of your negativity. This is a formal invite. We are going to go Belschnickeling next year.
Where?
We'll figure it out.
Can't just go
We'll
to
figure it
somebody's
out.
house.
Here's what we'll do. We'll figure out which listeners are close enough to us, and we will go Belschnickeling at their houses. Then,
You have to guess which one is which.
then we will do an entire episode on our experience Belschnickeling. For next year's holiday episode, that's what we're doing. I'm not gonna disclose which guests we're doing it with, or guess which followers we're doing it. But if you're in the Madison metropolitan tri-county area,
I want to get me and Nick drunk.
next December, you better just no mistletoe.
No. Well, get me drunk enough.
The boys are gonna be a Belschnickel.
Okay.
It's happening.
Okay, my turn.
Jake's turn.
Okay, so I got how would you?
Frau Perchta.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Was it's a German Austrian legend of a witch who again does both rewards and punishments for children. But she is best known for if you are sinful, she will rip out your internal organs and replace them with garbage. So it comes from like the Alpine area for the Alpine goddess of nature who tends to the forest. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. It's just a Christmas witch who, if you're bad, she takes your guts out and she puts in the world's guts, which is garbage.
So, first off,
Yeah.
I feel like this was one of the very first true, like, independent women. Because she got sick of being associated, like, I'm a witch. And, oh, yeah, Halloween, yay. Everyone out there is a witch on Halloween.
Yeah.
She was like, nope, I'm moving forward in the months, and I'm taking Christmas. Because there ain't no Christmas witches yet. So she started that for herself. It was the very first independent witch lady.
Yeah.
And then she was like, well,
Starts ripping
let me think about all these Christmas nasties. What do? They beat children if they're bad. They give them good things if they're good. I can still hold true to the whole, giving people candy and giving good kids good things.
Uh-huh.
But I gotta mix it up if they're bad.
Gotta top
if
it.
they're a sinful person. Now, did it say person, kid, or adult?
It just says person.
Okay, so person encompasses children. If they're bad, in my eyes, they are a garbage person, and I will make them a garbage person.
Ooh.
That's how I internalized what
That's
you just
that
read back.
was.
So, Frau Perchta, hats off to you.
She's stuffing you with garbage.
Making you a garbage person. Now, and here's another thought process on that. It said she embodies like the nature she represents.
The legend comes from the same area that like the Alpine
Okay,
goddess
so
of nature.
So my question then is, what sort of garbage is she using? Like, is she using like litter that she finds in the woods? Is she using just straight up? I mean, because nature produces its own garbage. So is she just using like pine cones and just like needles? Like,
I'm imagining whatever's in your garbage can. She just reaches in.
Which, over time, over the course of this legend having happened, you got to think has gotten so much grosser.
Yeah.
I mean, in your garbage bin in 1740 something, you're going to have animal trimmings. You're going to have, not going to have really anything that's really not biodegradable.
Right.
So really not. I mean, yes, you're getting your insides.
I mean, you're gonna die.
You're dead, but you're getting your insides ripped out gruesomely.
Yeah.
But you're still getting it replaced with decently organic things.
Yeah.
Or, biodegradable.
Silver lining.
Always a silver lining in anything you can think of. Yeah. Any situation's always got one.
You're still dead.
And you still have garbage in you.
Super dead.
Fast forward to 2020. Oh, God. The terrible garbage that's going into your body. Yuck. That actually gets a yuck from me.
Just some gross ass shit. There's used condoms in
Used
there.
condom.
That old sock that has holes.
That has used condoms in it.
That KFC box that has some chicken bones and used condoms.
Oh, God.
Fucking.
It just ramps up just the weirdness of that Christmas nasty because...
You know what's weird to me is if you think about it, at some point in history, used condoms wasn't ever an issue, and now it is.
Now it is.
No, that's a fear.
Used lambskins was maybe an issue, but not used prophylactics.
Yeah, but those lambskins were used for lambs, so it's okay.
And they're biodegradable.
the organic contraceptive.
Gross.
Very. Merry Christmas.
All right, I have one more Christmas companion.
Okay.
How many more do you have?
I mean, there's a few. I only have one that I want to sort of...
Okay. So we'll each do our last one and wrap her up.
Let me do mine first, actually, because mine's less good.
Oh, you already
It's more
peeped,
of just like this.
You already peeped what mine was?
No, but
Okay.
I just know that mine is One I was gonna skip, but now just sort of.
The way this podcast has gone.
It's this one. I'm gonna try and salvage a little bit.
Okay.
So there's La Befana.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is she's actually technically still sort of a Christmas witch, but what is she?
She's not the original though.
No, but what she is connected to is a woman who is actually invited to join the three wise men in the biblical story.
Okay.
Which is one reason why I wanted to throw it out there, which is you don't really hear about
3 men and a wise lady.
Well, you don't really hear about women doing things in the Bible because Christians don't believe in women. So the idea that there was actually a woman attached to that story, she was supposed to go see Jesus, but
she was busy doing her hair.
Well, she said she
got held up.
She said she had too much work to do. So not only is she like a wise woman who's like, come see Jesus, but she's like, bitch, I'm fucking working. I don't have time for that.
Gotta put in overtime. I gotta get money for Christmas presents.
But she quickly realized that she had made a mistake and wanted to go with. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is that actually kind of, because we had talked during Whitewater, which is an episode that comes out at the end of the year.
Coming up soon.
Yeah. But it's an episode about witches, and we discussed sort of like the brewing thing.
Yeah.
And one of the this is actually a random sort of origin story to why witches have brooms that I never heard about.
Okay.
Which is that when she was trying to catch up to them, she couldn't. So in defeat, she threw herself under a tree, and a branch from that tree became a magical broomstick that allowed her to fly to meet Jesus. And I've never heard that origin story for how witches got broom. And that's Jesus.
I don't believe any of that. I believe she fell underneath a tree, came up with the concept for Quidditch, and then magically had a broom fall on her, put a spell on that broom, and said, hey, I have this idea for a fun game called Quidditch.
Fucking Harry Potter.
And that's the story I believe. So...
But yeah,
to each their own.
See, it's not as good, but it's just a random origin story.
It is, yeah, it is interesting that's because we do delve into the unique connection between witches and the symbolism, or like the main symbols of witches and the connection to brewing, which none of us knew going into the Whitewater episode.
Right.
So that'll be coming up, which is
it's a good episode.
Whitewater's a great episode. It's the season finale, so. Be there or be a rectangle. Now, my last Christmas companion, I debated in my head about even writing these words down, but I ultimately fell on the idea that I don't care.
Fair enough.
The last Christmas companion is Zwarte Piet, which translates directly into Black Pete.
Okay, bye, Nick. We're not allowed to talk about this.
Black Pete is depicted as a Moor. Again, this is all from Central Europe origins.
We're not racist. Our ancestors were.
He punishes children by... He punishes bad children. I had to look at that note. By beating them with a birch rod, specifically.
Aww.
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson is upset.
Yep. Or kidnapping them.
Oh, jeez.
And taking them back to Spain in the sack that was initially filled with gifts for the good kids. Hey, I just read all this on Wikipedia, so I'm just bringing
all the Tonka trucks.
Yep.
Got to bring back a kid to Spain.
Take a penny, leave a penny. That's
not the same.
That's if you want to know more about Black Pete, you go do your own research. That's all the further I'm going into it.
Is he from Spain?
Yeah.
Or do they just have a fear of being kidnapped?
No, he's from Spain.
Okay.
He technically is
conquistador.
Technically, he's Santa's servant. He's not necessarily. Yeah. Again. Y'all go do your own research, so I don't have to feel guilty. Yes, he is technically Santa's servant. It made very clear in the notes on Wikipedia and said verbatim, technically, Black Pete is not a companion of Santa, but Santa's servant.
He's not on that level.
He's not even cool enough to be Belschnickel.
Oh.
So
that actually reminds me of, I don't know how much you know about the Pokemons.
there's a Black Pete Pokemon?
No, but do you know the Pokemon Jinx?
Yeah.
Got in a bunch of trouble because essentially it's like it was compared to like blackface with big red lips.
Yeah, no, I remember hearing about it.
So they had to like change the color and stuff.
Yep.
Well, there was a Christmas episode that never officially aired.
Oh, God.
Where basically the group Ash, Misty and them, they find a Jinx and this Jinx is like, I have Santa's boot and I gotta get it back to Santa. So they go on a trip to go to Santa's workshop, where you find out that Santa is there, and he's just got all these. His elves are actually Jinx Pokemon. So there's a bunch of these black-faced, big red-lipped creatures serving Santa. The Japanese are not as quite racially as. Don't watch it.
Don't go search that.
It's called Holiday Hijinks. Don't. Oh.
We've done enough nerding out on this podcast.
Oh, this podcast ended on a very bad note. I'm depressed about Christmas now.
Well, we still have our fond Christmas memories that we started this episode out with.
Oh God!
I didn't even call this a probing this time.
Are one of these things gonna come and beat us? Cause
I mean, maybe. My hopes is that it's Belschnickel or the rapping robot that you talked about.
Was it a robot?
Oh, wasn't it?
No.
It was the horse head ghost man. It was it was E.T. with a sheet over his head carrying around a horse skull, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
The rapping robot.
Yeah, I thought it was a rapping robot.
That's not fair. We can't beat a robot.
I mean, if it's a dumb robot, you probably
Robots
could.
are never dumb.
All right, well, I will. Okay, so if I had to pick one favorite Christmas nasty, that would be it. I would pick.
Yeah, that was pretty. I like the Belschnickel.
I like the Belschnickel, but I like the concept of Belschnickeling even more.
Yes.
So favorite Christmas nasty is the rapping robot horse head, and favorite new Christmas tradition is going to be Belschnickeling. Yes.
On a little side note, quick, did you ever see the Krampus movie that came out a few years ago?
I had thought about, there's like 3 of them, and I had thought about checking them out before I watched this. Or actually, before we recorded this.
Right.
Get my English correct here.
Nah.
I did no such thing, only because I ran out of time.
There was that one that came out a couple
It's like
years
2017.
ago. It was like a mainstream one.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be pretty good.
Well,
I never saw it. It's got that one guy in it.
From that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that brings us to the end of this probing on this holiday affair.
Yeah.
We're not really running out of steam. We're just wrapping this up.
Well,
so
much like Christmas signaling the end of another year,
Yep.
as we move forward in time to the inevitable dark and cold death that awaits all of us.
You're talking about winter in Wisconsin, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course I am.
Nice. Yes. Nice. So we'll wrap this up with our typical taglines.
Well,
Actually, no, I will hold that for the end, the very end.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to Christmas this year?
Yeah. Christmas is always a good time.
It is.
Can't complain.
I got my tree up. It's very pretty.
Food, gifts,
Yeah.
family. Nothing wrong with any of that. So,
I'm excited for it.
so if you want to hit us up on the socials,
Yeah, let us know about your favorite Christmas memories.
absolutely. Let us know your fondest or M. Night Shyamalan plot twist here, scariest Christmas memory.
Y'all ever see some Christmas ghosts?
Scariest Christmas episode.
Yeah. You know what's funny? We didn't talk at all about Christmas
no.
Carol.
Or Nightmare Before Christmas,
Yeah.
which is more of an Easter movie when you think about it.
I got over that movie quick.
Same here.
I think I got over Tim Burton real fast.
Same
I
here.
like Coraline, though.
Beetlejuice is really the only.
Beetlejuice is pretty good.
movie I like from
But
it. And the original Batman's.
Surprised we didn't talk about Christmas Carol.
Well,
Or Scrooged, at least. Bill Murray. Classic.
I've never actually seen that.
Oh, that's a good movie. You should watch it.
Well, that's the end of the podcast episode. Probing, whatever you want to call it. I'm just rambling at this point.
That's all right. That's kind of how I feel like this is how every Christmas ends, is with Grandpa and Grandma.
Bickering or rambling.
Why did I compare us to an old man and an old lady?
It's fine. It's not the first time this month I've been compared to an old lady.
Fair enough.
Happens at work all the time.
But yeah, if you want to let us know about your Christmas memories, or if you just want to hit us up and
all the socials.
yeah, we got the Gmails, we got the Twitters and the Facebooks, and we're on Instagram. We should push that more.
We are on Instagram. I only release photos when they correspond with the probing of that week. So
Yeah, but we should still push that more.
We will discuss that.
Yeah.
Grindr,
Tinder,
Christian Mingle,
KrampusOnlys.com.
KrampusOnlys.com, and that's actually .com.
Yeah.
Just so you know. When you
because it's K.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, of course it is.
Yeah. And as always, this place, which is the state of Wisconsin that we live in,
Yeah.
is much creepier than we ever thought.
Merry Christmas, Nick.
Merry Christmas, Jake.